welcome to another episode of Classic Gamer 74. I'm your host, Anthony Gamer, and in today's episode we're going to discuss AVP, Arcade vs. Port of Choplifter, plus the debut of my new Atari 2600 hack, Daechwita. Ordinarily when I say AVP or Arcade vs. Port, I'm referring to an arcade game being compared to its various ports. Back in the day, it worked kind of like this. An arcade game would be released, and when it became very popular, or sometimes not, that's another story, the game would be ported out to various game systems and computer systems. Now, because of the fact that the arcade machine had a whole lot of extra memory and other things to go with it, when you would port the game out, it would not be a carbon copy of the arcade game. At that time, it was just impossible. It wouldn't be until the dawn of the PS1, when a lot of these old games would be re-released, that they would be pretty much near carbon copies of their arcade release. Now, what makes Choplifter stand out from all the other games that we're going to review on this channel, or have reviewed, is that this game came out for the computer before it came out for the arcade. And again, that was the first time. But it wouldn't be the last time. Well, sort of. About a decade later, another very well-established computer game was almost ported out to the arcade. They did release a prototype cabinet, but it never actually got an official release. Do you know what that game is? Well, stay tuned to the end of the video and see if you're correct. Okay, so a little bit about Choplifter itself. It was released in 1982 for the Apple IIe computer and was released by Broderbund Software. Of course, many of you know who Broderbund is. That's the company that made Print Shop. And it was programmed by a gentleman named Dan Gorlin. The gameplay is pretty, not simple, but yet still pretty cool. In this game, you take on the role of a helicopter, kind of similar to that of like Airwolf or Blue Thunder, which again were some really cool shows and movies from that time period. And you were sneaking into an unfriendly foreign country and rescuing a bunch of hostages. You break the hostages out, get them on the chopper, and take them back to the U.S. Embassy. Now, sounds pretty easy, right? Well, not exactly, as these countries, whoever they are, of course they were unnamed, but during that time period you could kind of pick who your enemies were, as the Cold War was still going on, and a few years previous we had the Iran hostage situation. And as I said, these countries were not about to let you just sneak over there and bomb all their stuff and take the hostages back. They put up quite a resistance. And the game itself really did fit into the time, as I had said, with some of the things going on internationally. It was a very patriotic game. And the game was such a big hit that it soon got released for other computer systems, and then finally Sega would purchase the game and then release it for the arcade. And then after that, even more copies of the game, or excuse me, more ports of the game were being released for other computers and game systems. So, without further ado, let's get started with Choplifter.
Alright, so let's start off with the version that started it all, the Apple IIe computer version. As you can see, the game does have that Apple IIe charm all over it, with the cool graphics and the really cool sounds that will bring probably many of my viewers back to the good old days of Apple IIe. As you can see, the graphics themselves were pretty standard Apple game, but boy, this game was just so much fun. It's sometimes hard to imagine that this game would just blow up the way it did and, be ported out so many times. Well, anyway, with enough of my yakking, I'm going to show you the different various ports of the game, and let me know in the comments section which ones were your favorites, which ones you liked, and which ones you didn't like. I'm not exactly sure what happened with this version, why it looks so different than the Atari 8, as usually the Atari 8 games and 5200 are quite closely related. I'm beginning to think this is a version that was made to look as close as possible to the Apple II version. Maybe not. I don't know. If you know any more about it, let me know in the comments section below. Of all the various ports that we're looking at here, this one has to be my favorite, period. And checking it out, you'll understand why. Now this one is my least favorite, and it's not even close, the ColecoVision version, for two main reasons. One, the collision detection is terrible, it takes forever to hit anything. And secondly, how the hell do you land the damn chopper? And by far the most difficult version has to be this one, the Famicom version. The enemies are totally relentless in this one, and they just make it pretty much impossible. But I would expect nothing less from the Famicom. And if you've been a long-time follower of my channel, you probably remember the episode where I discussed lost media for the Intellivision. Well, this one, I found out, has been found. As the original version of Choplifter for the Intellivision lacked sound, however, it was found and sound was added and it was released. So enjoy the long-lost Intellivision port of Choplifter.
And the answer to today's trivia question, what is the name of the established computer game that they unsuccessfully were going to port to the arcade? And the answer is Lemmings. Hard to believe that this would have worked in the arcade, and I'll get into that later in another episode where I do a comparison and contrast of the different versions of the game Lemmings. Now it's time for my latest hack. The game is called Daechwita, as it is a hack of the Atari 2600 game Off the Wall. I made this hack with the help of my friend and mentor and pretty much the king of Atari hacks himself, Scott Daechwita. Many of you are familiar with the Korean K-pop group BTS, who have become a worldwide sensation and have changed the world of music, I think for the better, and are working to change the world for the better as well. Even if you're not a fan of the music itself, the boys themselves are extremely talented, play multiple instruments, write their stuff, have collaborated with several people around the world, and are just overall great guys. My bias is Suga, one of the rappers from the group, and he actually put out a solo project called August D. But this first August D album was a big success. His second album was just phenomenal, as it was called D2. And of course the big hit and the single off that album was the song Daechwita, which had a killer music video, one that I viewed several times and also helped me to become an August D fan myself. So after seeing this music video, it inspired me to make a hack. Now I'd been thinking about some new hacks, as I hadn't really done one in a while, but this video did it for me. So, with the help of Scott Daechwita, who did a lot of the work, I came up with this game. And so without further ado, let's check it out.
Thank you again to my beautiful wife Verl for introducing me to BTS and being the inspiration for this game. I love you so much. Okay, in this game you take on the role of August D, and you are trying to defend your kingdom from an Imugi, which is a word for a Korean baby dragon, who wants to become a full-fledged dragon. The only way he can do that is to destroy the kingdom. In order to help August D from stopping him, he builds a force field and throws a magic ball at him. As August D, you must destroy the force field by reflecting the magic ball back at the Imugi using your sword. As time goes on, the Imugi enlists the help of an evil eagle. Can you be the king and the boss and save your kingdom from certain destruction? And you have some pretty cool power-ups to help you along the way. See if you can recognize what each of those symbols stands for, and let me know in the comments section below.
So if you'd like to get the game for yourself, follow the link in the description below. At that link you will find not only the ROM file, but some mock-up boxes that I made, as well as some labels for cartridges, in case you ever wanted to have this game put on a cart, which I did. Also, check out this other link in the description below where you can see a customized video that I made of the game mixing it in with the official video for Daechwita. And let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. I'd really like to hear what you have to say.
In our next episode, we're going to discuss edutainment games for the Intellivision.
That brings this video to a close. I really hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to click that little bell icon down there so you'll be notified when I upload new material. And leave me some comments in the comments section below or on my various social media platforms. Maybe you have some suggestions of some games you'd like to see or anything else. Just let me know. I'd really like to hear from you. Well, until next time, I'm Anthony Gamer. I wish you all a great 2 weeks, and I will see you then. Until next time, be strong, be safe, be happy, be healthy, and above all, take care of each other, be kind to each other, and stop hate of all kinds. See you guys soon. Bye!